Okay, folks, welcome to this session. In this session, folks, we're gonna practice, okay? We're gonna discuss, as usually in every session, some speaking questions. And then I brought three scenarios, okay, for three groups. We're gonna discuss about these scenarios, and you have to give your personal opinion about it, okay? So we're gonna start with the content, folks. As you can appreciate on the screen, we got the beneficence, autonomy, justice, and responsibility. And for the objectives that we got for these sessions are identify the fundamental principles of professional ethics through real life scenarios, analyze professional situations using ethical reasoning, appropriate terminology, and applied ethical principles to propose responsible and fair solutions to professionals' dilemmas. Okay, all of these one are connected with the previous topics that we have been discussing in the previous sessions, right? I need one volunteer to read the introduction, please.
Okay, sure. So we have introduction. It says professional ethics plays a fundamental role in guiding the behavior and decisions of individuals in any profession. Ethical principles help professionals act responsibly, respect others, and contribute positively to society. So we can see that in this session we will explore four essential ethical principles that guide professional conduct, which are beneficence, autonomy, justice, and responsibility.
Okay, thank you. As you can see here, folks, in the introductions, so in every session, we talk about the same things, right? Professional ethics, right? So, and we have been discussing some of the values that we got, like integrity, responsibility, respect, okay, accountability, and so on, and some of the paradigms that we have been discussing in the first sessions, like utilitarianisms, okay, and some of the principles. Today we got four, okay, for this session. And now we're going to start with the questions, okay, folks, that I would like to listen to you. We only have 7 questions, okay? So let's see the first one. Have you ever seen someone behave unethically at work or at school? What happened? What do you think? Or even at university? If we go, folks, to the education area, so I think that most of you have seen some peers cheating on tests, right? So that is considered as an ethically behavior, right? So if you have seen that, what have you done at that moment? Cheryl, what do you think? You have seen this, or probably in your work, in your job?
Hello, good evening.
Hello.
Yes, in my case, I have seen some peers, some classmates cheating at the test, but I just observed that situation, and because I think the teachers are aware that the students are cheating on the test and they don't do anything.
You talked to the teacher at that time, right? Or the teacher saw it?
No, I consider that the teachers are conscious that the students are cheating on the test, but they don't do anything. I'll respect, have the respect.
And what happened at the end? If that person, if that student who was cheating on that test got the highest score, would you claim it to the teacher about it? Because probably you give your best shot and the other one not.
Yes, I have seen that in some cases, this kind of students got the best grades, uh, but it depends on the moral of each student. I consider that is personal. It's
Mm-hmm.
your decision to do it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you very much. Do we have another opinion about the same questions? Okay, let's move on to the second one. Why is trust important in professional relationships? What do you think, folks? Do you think that if we denied or if we deny the trust in the relationship, this can affect the decision that we make or not? What do you think? Let's see. Dania Garcia.
Hi, teacher. Good evening.
Evening.
Uh, I think so. The trust is very important because it helps people work together effectively. Eff- effectively, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
When when a professional trust each the other, uh, probably the communication improves, responsibility, and and, and teamwork becomes stronger.
Mm-hmm.
You catch me?
Yeah.
For this reason, I think that trust is very important in a professional, in the job, and in the university, when work has, in
Mm-hmm.
whatever environment.
Okay, good. Let's see the question number three. Do professionals always have a responsibility to help others? Why? Willie, what do you think about this question?
Well, I would say that usually professionals have a responsibility to help other people because, I mean, as professionals are part of society, they need to add something to improve people's lives, for example,
Mm-hmm.
because we're saying that professionals have knowledge and skills that could help solve issues. So I think in most of the time they should be able to help people, but I think another factor could be personal limits because, for example,
Mm-hmm.
mm, let's say we know some English and let's say we have many people asking us for help, right?
Yeah.
So we can be, I mean, we can be kind, we can help them, but at the same time, we cannot spend like our whole day doing it. So, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
usually we have a responsibility to help, but as long as our limits are respected, I think
Yeah.
there should be a fair and well balanced, right? eh, mm, environment.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Good point of view. Good. Do we have another volunteers for the same questions? Do you agree with him? That was a really good point, right? Okay, let's move on to question number four. Do you think rules are enough to ensure ethical behavior? What do you think? Why or why not? Francisco Gonzalez.
Thank you. Good evening.
Evening.
Yes, I do not think they are enough because at the end of the day, the decision the decisions are on us, on human beings. So even though we do have rules, it is our responsibility or our choice if we want to follow them or not.
Yeah. There are some other aspects, right, that we need to take into account, like the values, so some values that we have been discussing before, right? Like integrity, even moral judgment, respectful, and so on, right? Good. Now, let's see the question number 5. What is more important, following rules or doing what is morally right? Karen Amador, what do you think about this question? Which is more important for you? Is Karen here? Abigail Janes.
Yes, good evening, teacher.
Evening.
I think doing what is morally right is more important. Sometimes rules can be unfair or outdated. In those situations, people should think about what is ethical and responsible. However, rules are still important because they have to maintain order in the society.
Mhm. Willie, what do you think? Do you agree with her, or do you think that both should go together?
We are talking about number 5, right?
Yeah.
Following rules or doing what is morally right. Um, well, I think doing what is morally right is more important. Um, because I believe, for example, the rules are set, but that doesn't mean that they are like applied to every single case. So not every situation is going to have the rules applied. So what
Mhm.
people have to do is basically use their judgment and values to consider what is morally right.
Yeah. Okay, good. Let's see the question number 6. Should professionals always respect a person's decision even if they think is wrong? Dania, what do you think about this question, Dania?
And number 6,
Yeah, number 6. Should professionals always respect a person's decisions even if they think it is wrong?
uh, I think that professionals should respect a person's decisions, but probably they should also provide advice and information to help the person uh, and understood the consequence before making a final decisions.
Okay. What about the question number 7? Why do societies expect professionals to behave ethically? What do you think?
Estoy en clase. Ocupo pasar esta clase ahorita.
Paul Gutierrez. Hello.
Hi, teacher.
What
Sorry.
what do you think about the question number 7? Why do societies expect professionals to behave ethically? So the same question for Sasha Nicole, Snydery, and Diana Downs. The last one. Are they here? Let's check. Okay, Francisco, we're gonna close with you with that question. Why does society expect professionals to behave ethically? What do you think from
Yeah,
your
thank
point
you
of view?
again. Yeah, for the question. I believe societies expect professionals to behave ethically in order to comply with their responsibilities, um, like in a good manner, uh, like doing what they must do and following the rules, following the patterns they should follow. And again, in order to keep order, in order to keep peace as well. Because if they do whatever they want based on only their judgment, then well, it would be a mess.
Yeah.
Uh, there would be things that should not be done, and again, that is what they are expected to do.
Okay, okay. Really appreciate your participation, okay? Good. Now, let's move on to this one, folks. As I mentioned at the beginning of the session, so we got some ethical principles like beneficence, autonomy, justice, and responsibility, right? So as probably you saw the video, the first video on the platform on the session number 9 that I mentioned there that beneficence refers to the ethical duty, right? A professional to act in ways that promote the well-being of others. So this means, folks, that making decisions and taking actions aim to help people improve their conditions and prevent harm wherever possible. And some of the principles, some of the main characteristics that we got for these ethical principles, as you can appreciate on the screen, we got focuses on promoting the well-being of others, as I mentioned before, right? Encourages professional to act in the best interest of clients or society, depends on the area, right? And involves preventing harm and reducing risks. And the last one that we got there, it requires professionals to consider the positive impact of their decisions. Then we got the autonomy. What do you understand by autonomy, folks? You got some idea about this ethical principle? Well, as you know, folks, is here where we have to recognize the rights of the individuals. Sadly, in our country, just the minority of people recognize this, right? To make our own decision based on our values, right? Remember that nowadays, most of the values that we have discussed before, they have been lost, sadly, right? And preferences, right? And this ethical principle, folks, it emphasizes on respecting people's ability to think independently, right? And some of the characteristics that we got for these ethical principles, we got the promotion, the decision making independent, and the respect individual freedom and personal choices. Requires clear and honest information so people can make informed decisions, encourages professionals to support rather than control individual choices. Now, I got a question about these ethical principles. Do you think that in your job or even in the university, your own opinion has been respected at the moment when you have talked? Sasha Nicole, what do you think? Snadery? Cheryl, that happened to you in your job or even at university? Okay, okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. And another ethical principles that we got, folks, is the justice, right? Remember that justice emphasizes the fairness and equality when making decisions, right? And it requires professionals to treat individually, even impartially, or avoid discrimination of favorisms, right? So here, some of the key characteristics that we got for this principle, we got the promotion of fair and equal treatment. Here, it emphasizes that the treatment have to be equal, okay? So in the different types of atmosphere that we got, right? Encourages impartial and objective decisions, support equal access to support opportunities and services, and reflect discrimination, bias, and unfair advantages, right? So the last ethical principle that we got, folks, and some of the most important is the responsibility, right? Remember that this one refers to the obligations professionals have to act ethically, right? Fulfilled. You as professionals, you are, so we got the responsibility to fulfill our duties, right? And accept the accountability for our actions and decisions, right? This one, so when we act in a responsibly way, folks, we demonstrate integrity, reliability, and the commitment to ethical standards, right? And some of the key principles, some of the key characteristics that we got for these principles, we got encourage honesty and integrity in decision making, as I mentioned before, requires professional to follow ethical guidelines and standards, and involves acknowledging the right and correcting mistakes when they occur. Now, I ask you, have you ever been corrected when you make a mistake in your job or in your university? Yes, Francisco, go ahead.
Yeah, in my case, of course, I think we all have been corrected. And personal speaking, I find that very helpful,
Mhm.
because feedback is always welcome. And I do appreciate when people provide me with feedback so that I can, complete and do my duties.
Mhm. Yeah, continue. Go ahead. Okay, Francisco, do you think why do you think that most of people get accept when they have been corrected? Because in the case of you, you said that you really appreciate it, right? But there
Yeah.
are some others not. So do you
Yeah.
think that that can occur in the way how you're being corrected, or the
Yeah.
types of words that the other person is using?
Yeah, definitely. The approach is key when it comes to feedback.
Yeah.
And we as teachers, for example, when giving feedback to students, we do have a procedure. We do have to sugarcoat it a little bit, but also start first with the positive, like perspective of the situation, and
Mm-hmm.
then some points that they can improve. So I definitely believe that the way in which feedback is given is important. But also, I believe that how mature you are when receiving feedback, even if people provide you with feedback in a good way, some people do not
Mm-hmm.
take those words very well, and they get upset, as you said. So I believe that these two perspectives are important when it comes to giving and receiving feedback.
Yeah, yeah. We have to be very, very smoothly, right? Okay. Now let's move on to the
Teacher, I would like to say something.
yes, go ahead.
It's about justice. I would like to say that not all the institutions have enough ethics, I think, because as it says, fair and equal treatment, that is not always present in our jobs because, for example, we as teachers not always have the correct and fair treatment or
Mhm.
payment because sometimes, for example, I will say that my last job was not fair because the payment was very, very low. And for example, the principal was like, that is all that I can give, and I can't give you more because blah, 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 blah. And that is not fair because we as teachers must have the correct payment, and sometimes ethics are not present in our jobs, I would say.
Yeah, that happens. Do we have another volunteer for some of these ethical principles? Okay. So, folks, now that I'm gonna share, first, the first thing that I'm gonna do is to break out the group into three breakout rooms. Okay. Then I'm gonna provide an scenario to each room, okay? So the link of the document will be shared through the chat box of the Zoom. Please be aware of the room that you will be, right? And you have to read it carefully the scenario. Then we got some reflection questions that you have to analyze, that you have to answer with your own words, okay? And complete the chart there. So write the questions that we got there according to your scenario, and then try to make a summary of such a scenario and provide your personal reflection, your own opinion, okay? I'm gonna divide the group into three breakout rooms, okay? Breakout room one, two, and three, and we got a scenario one for room one, a scenario two for room two, and so on. Hello, folks. Can you hear me? I'm gonna share, folks, the link of your scenario in the chat box. Okay, please check on that. Check it there. Please click on it. Did you get it? As I mentioned before, folks, when you click on the link, you will find the scenario for the room one. This is the room one, and you have to analyze the scenario, and then we got some questions that are working as a guidance to you to start writing your own personal reflection based on that scenario. Okay, don't forget, please don't forget to jot down your full name and your number and your carnet, right? Hi, folks. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna share, folks, the link of the scenario through the chat box. Okay, please click on it and complete the information. As I said before, folks, there you will find a scenario for room two. This is the room two. Okay, and you have to analyze it carefully such a scenario, and then we got some questions that are working as a guidance to you, and then starting jotting down your own personal reflection based on such a scenario. Okay. Hello, folks, can you hear me?
Yes,
Sure.
teacher.
Yes.
Okay, folks, as I mentioned before, so you are in breakout room three, right? So I'm gonna share the link of your scenario through the chat box. Okay, please click on it and you will find such a scenario with unguided questions. The idea, folks, is not to answer the questions, because questions are working as a guidance to you. So read carefully the scenario, analyze it, and then based on the guided questions we got there, start jotting down your own personal reflection based on such a scenario. Okay, so you have the link on chat box. Enjoy it.
Sure.
¿Cómo vamos, chicos?
For me, it's ready, teacher.
Okay. I'm reading, folks, your own reflection, and some of them sounds weird. It doesn't add up to you, folks. Who wrote the reflection that says this situation shows an important challenge that professionals often face when helping or make decisions. The advisor believes that one career option may be better that for the client's future, but the client prefers another option because it feels safer and more familiar. Who wrote that? I'm asking this because I don't see the name. I don't see the student's name. Please don't forget to write down your name, your full name, please. So in this room, folks, we got 5 students and we got 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's remaining 1. ¿Cómo vamos, chicos? Hello, Isamar. How you doing?